Yo, what up, fellas? How you guys doing today, man?
Ooh, baby, you're feeling that urge. Step away from the lotion, time to purge. You gotta keep it clean, keep it mean, stay supreme. Know what I mean? You think no one knows what's going on inside, but your vibe's loud, baby. You can't hide all the fantasy, got your soul looking grim. You ain't slick, we can tell where you been. A good man glow, got class in his tone, but you in the dark beating me alone. Got the dead eye look and your posture slump. Whole vibe saying this man's been humped by himself. Don't let the lust take over your mind. It'll twist your soul, leave your life behind. Your mojo's leaking, your spirit's weak. You're looking creepy, man. You hit peak freak. Whatever happens to you, just is. Don't become a gooner, a gooner, a gooner. Just keep it in your pants and repeat. Don't become a gooner, a gooner, a gooner. Just keep it in your pants and repeat. You're chasing girls who show no reply. Try to fake attraction with a dead man's eye. That thirst unchecked, that energy wreck. She ain't feeling you, time to self-respect. A tiger don't beg, he pounds with style, but you just whimpering with that crusty smile. You lost your edge in the algorithm maze, swiping and stroking, wasting your days. Wild animals don't play with themselves till you cage them up and they go to hell. Now you in your room all alone with shame, looking in the mirror trying to shift the blame. Cold shower, cold mind, cold-blooded truth. You're giving up power like a washed-up youth. No drive, no spark, no pride to keep. Just lotion on the dresser and a bed full of weight. Whatever happens to you, just is. Don't become a gooner, a gooner, a gooner. Just keep it in your pants and repeat. Don't become a gooner, a gooner, a gooner. Just keep it in your pants and repeat. You say it's just a release, but your face say pain. Got them under eye bags and emotional rain. The sparkle gone, now you're foggy and weird. She walk past you fast like ill, he's near. Eyes shifty, hands twitch, you breathing like a freak. Vibe got no strength, you're mad and meek. Your cheese been drained, your soul's been dipped in 5-year-old tissues and shame that sticks. You can't build no empire with your pants down. You can't move no mountain if your knees weak now. You was born with fire, don't trade it for friction. You want a future or a moment of fix. Whatever happens to you, just is. Don't become a gooner, a gooner, a gooner. Just keep it in your pants and repeat. Don't become a gooner, a gooner, a gooner. Just keep it in your pants and repeat.
Yo, what up, fellas? How's everybody doing today, man? I hope everybody is doing well. It's your main man, the Shave Lion King, bro, tapping back in the building today, man. We're going to be talking about don't be like everybody else, man. I just see so much going on in the modern day society, man. It just concerns me, bro. You see so many people out here affected by their energies that they're around, the energies that they take in on a day to day. And I realize, man, that honestly, since I've been on this retention journey, I got to be real with you guys. And I've said it before, there's just not a lot of real people in the world really doing this, man. Okay. I had to really sit there and I had to really think about it, man. I was like, bro, there's not really many people doing this. This is why the retention community, has so many ups and downs. This is why it's so inconsistent. Okay, because we used to have a lot of people in here who would be talking about this on the daily. They'd be telling the truth about their journeys, man. And now, bro, I don't really see anybody on here really even talking about it no more, man. Which tells me, number one, that they're not doing it. And listen, this isn't nothing condemning them or nothing, but it's just I'm just telling you what I've seen and what I have to get you guys to understand on why people decide to do certain things in their life, because this is where it all starts. Okay, because this is supposed to be the world. This is supposed to be the road of discipline. This is supposed to be the thing that keeps you on track. Okay, I told you the enemy out here uses all of these temptations against people. And this is why inconsistency takes place. There isn't no inconsistencies, you know, any other way but this. Okay, because think about it. If we didn't have temptations, we wouldn't be falling off. We wouldn't be having any trouble keeping our discipline in order. But for the simple fact that there's so much temptation and it's used at us in so many different ways that it's hard for most people to keep consistency. Okay. And this is where, they get people who have different issues in their life. Maybe some people have confidence issues. Maybe some people had a rough upbringing. Maybe some people were abused. I don't know. There's just so many different variables to understanding on why, losing your sexual life force energy, your protection has an effect on what you choose to do in your life. Okay. How much discipline you have as a person. All of these little things matter. And like I said, what I'm starting to see is I'm starting to understand that not a lot of people are doing this practice. They're just not, because there's so many of these little things that people haven't even identified, or simply just unaware of all in general, about different things that we will understand the longer that we go on retention, because you're going to be able to see these little things in your life that I'm talking about, and you're going to be able to correct them. This is why I say I can tell if someone's been doing the practice legitly for real. Okay. And most of the time, man, I'm just under the impression that, going off of these people's words and, their actions show you something completely different. Okay. And for that reason, this is why you don't want to be out here like everybody else. Okay. Let me tell you something, man. I just sat here and told you that most people out here in the form of that reason are not going to be honest. Okay. They're not going to be honest. They're either going to say they were doing something and disappear, or there's going to be one of these bold people who have no cares about what someone thinks. And if they're degenerate or not, they're just going to say it out loud. There's only three groups of people. Okay. But the thing that you need to understand is those other two groups of people are going to be the people, man. All right. That are out here that are, indulging in all of this behavior, man, causing further influence on society. This is the people that get put up in our society. These are the people who get the good jobs. These are the people who get, the algorithm. Okay. Because what I'm trying to get at is you guys don't seem to understand that this is what we are manifesting, because this is what we are putting our energy towards. All right. We need to understand, man, it's a reason why they're coming into the retention community and getting us, all right, to acquiesce to just this lifestyle now. Okay. We have like literally no choice. If most people are out here are not doing retention, and they're out here coming into the journey, falling off and disappearing, what does that tell you? That tells you that they went back into their world. They went back into their lifestyle, whether they want to be honest about it or not. Okay. The thing is, man, it affects everybody in so many subtle ways. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, all this does is keep them in an open porthole for different things to come into their life and cause them problems. I see so many women today being used against men that men don't even understand that this woman's being used against you, whether that's spiritually, whether that was, someone set up that relationship. There's a bunch of different ways that this could be happening. But the simple fact of the matter that us men, once we start depleting and releasing our sexual life force energy, bro, okay, we become weak. We become submissive, okay, to this feeling, to this, this act that we do as men. And we don't understand that that's literally releasing our power, because we don't want to, identify that this is what's making us weak. Okay, we like it so much, we make so many excuses so much, and in the end, all it is doing is taking away from who we are. Okay, this is just what's been happening. All right, I see this walking around in our society, man, and I just see people who have two faces on. All right, there you can really tell that these people are not happy with what their lifestyles or what they're doing. It's showing on their face. Okay, it's showing on their look as stress and worry and concern and being depleted of energy. Okay, I don't want to be like that, bro. Okay, I don't want to be like that, man. I don't want to be like everybody else who's done subscribe to that type of behavior. I don't want to be like everybody else. Like, cause why? Because think about it. Now, once you're weak and low in that area, what's going to happen to you? You're going to be less concerned about the other things in your life. This is a little domino effect on what happens to people when they fall into this lifestyle and they don't identify it. Okay, you start to fall into the bad diet, and this is where it really messes you up. Okay, I want you to understand, this is where it really messes you up, when you fall into your diet. Okay, when you start eating all this bad stuff, it attacks your gut. Okay, it attacks your lower chakras. Okay, and what ends up happening is you start accumulating waste in your system. Okay, you start accumulating parasites. Okay, I want you guys to understand something, man. When I tell you that you all have parasites, I don't see what you don't understand. I can prove everybody has parasites, and to a level that is uncomfortable. Okay, if you eat any of the modern day foods, the meats, the dairies, okay, the fishes, okay, you are full of parasites, full of them. Okay, I'm talking about, depending, if you've never been a person who's cleaned out your body before, you can have some very ancient, very full grown species of worms who's unadapted to living in your body for just about as almost long as you've been alive. Okay, and they have been direct reasons why you don't have the energy to do very much. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm one of these people who take health really seriously. Okay, all the time. This has been my life for the last 20 something years. I take my health seriously. Why? Because at one point I ended up being sick. Okay, and when I ended up being sick, I had to go and study health. This is why I became obsessed with health. Okay, I got really sick. Okay, the doctors didn't know what it was. Okay, it was just something that it made it that I was unable to eat meat. I was unable to digest, meat. And for some reason, that caused a whole bunch of problems in my health. Okay, it caused a whole bunch of problems. I started getting sick. I started not being able to remove, the meat and the waste out of my body. So it led to a whole slew of problems. But nevertheless, the doctors didn't understand on how to fix it and what it was. Okay, and let me tell you what I did. Okay, I'm telling you what I did, and this is going to concern most of you people out there who are thinking that what I'm saying is a joke. I wouldn't come on here and tell you any jokes. I never do. Okay, you've never seen me come on here and be like wah 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 the whole time. When I'm telling you something, most of the time it's serious, and then I'll throw in punchlines here and there. But when I'm telling you guys that's affecting most of the people today and why you shouldn't be like everybody else, believe me, I'm telling you why. I'm giving you the correlation. I'm giving you how all this goes together like a domino effect. So, like I said, I got sick. I didn't know what was wrong. Okay. I met this person that told me to try a vegan diet. Okay, and listen, I'm not promoting the vegan diet, but just listen to my story. So this person promoted to me a vegan diet. Okay, that's what they said. And I didn't go vegan. What I end up finding out is I was eating more fruit during this time. But let me tell you what I experienced and how I know to this day that all of you are full of parasites. If you, like I said, if you've been eating this diet of the meat, the dairies, and the fishes, just listen to me. Okay, stop being. You're gonna have to own up to this one day. One day it's gonna catch you, man. I'll bet the house on it, bro. Okay, I'll bet my life on it. It's gonna catch you guys. Okay, that's a pretty bold statement, and I'm telling you, it's gonna catch you because you're not listening to me. All right, I'm telling you how I know. All right. So I was sick for a very long time. No one could figure out what the hell it was. Right. So guess what I end up doing? I end up going down to this farmer's market, and then I end up acquiring a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables. And I told myself it was just something that someone told me to do. I said, I'm going to try this. All right. I said, let me try what is going on. All right. So I did this for about 6 months. All I did was eat the fruits and vegetables for about 6 months. Next thing you know, my body started turning around. I started feeling better. I started feeling so good that I said, you know what? If I'm feeling this good, then I'm definitely not going to be eating the foods that cause me to be sick. Okay. Because what was happening was, like I said, the meat wasn't digesting inside of my body. Okay. They call it some kind of autoimmune disease or something like that. Right. So the meat wasn't digesting in my body. And that was a huge problem with me, because you got to think about it. Meat already takes so long to digest in your body. Okay. We're talking about it takes longer than any other food to be excreted from your body. Okay. And when you need to understand that, because of that, it's going to, it's going to break down really slow in your body. It's going to putrefy, and it's going to cause parasites, all right, in your body. Okay. Now understand this. That was what was happening to me for a long time. I went on the vegan diet. Next thing you know, my bowels, everything started working again. Okay. The last thing that I did, I still was feeling low and weak in energy. Here's the biggest part that I'm trying to tell you. I was still feeling low, weak in energy. Don't get me wrong. I felt 1,000 times better because I could actually eat food. So of course my body was getting energy and stuff like that. Right. So once I started, really honing in on a diet, I decided I needed to start detoxing my body. And this is where I'm going to come in and tell you guys that all of you guys have these. I guarantee it. I've been doing this for years and they're still showing up. So I already know that all y'all are full of them, and you don't want to take the responsibility because all you want to do is live in denial. You're not going to sit here in denial when I'm telling you this is 100% guarantee that you have these, and you need to do some extreme things to get them out of your body, because they are literally living off every single meal that you're putting inside of your body. Okay. They are living off of every single meal that you are putting inside of your body. Okay. I want you to understand this. Okay. So what I had to do is I learned the art of detoxing. Now, there's very many ways to detox, but let me get you to understand something. Some of them, okay, are very uncomfortable. Some of them, okay, take a lot of things by mouth, swallowing pills and stuff like that. I'm not into that, because that stimulates detoxes in your body really hard. It's very hard on your stomach. Okay. It's very hard on your digestive system. Okay. So what I did is I studied a particular program that cured people for cancer. Okay, this is how I started this whole thing. I studied from a particular program that healed people from cancer. Because listen, if that was the case, right? If that was the case, this agency, this program that I was watching said that this is one of the things that you're going to have to do to help yourself, create a remedy for that issue. Okay, so I said, okay, let me study this a little more. So I started studying more and more and more. And then next thing you know, I'm seeing independent people who did the program, who were co-signing what they did in order to, clean out their bodies and get their health back. And I was like, okay, interesting. So I started watching these people's videos, and the number one topic that they all talked about was parasites and these worms that each and every single one of us have inside of us if we have been having a meat diet for the majority of our lives. Okay. And this is, like I said, this is majority of the people out there. And come to find out that, fish and seafood is worse. Those are the worst parasites. Those are like hardcore parasites that are really hard to get out of your body. But the regular meat parasites that we're eating, and we're getting into porks, and we're getting into chicken, we're getting into beef. Okay. Let me get you guys to understand something. Okay. I went on a vegan diet for almost 7 years. Okay. I was literally like a week away from hitting 7 years before I put something that was in the form of meat in my mouth. I tried a piece of chicken at that point. Okay. And let me tell you something. That whole 7 years that I was detoxing my body, I was still pushing out parasites. I was still pushing out damn worms. Listen, and I was on a vegan diet. Okay. I was eating super clean. I'm talking about I wasn't eating anything cooked. I wasn't eating anything really store bought. Like literally, I was eating all, farm grown types of foods. Okay. So my body was getting super, super clean. And then I started detoxing. Okay. I told you I started doing enemas. Okay. Enemas is the number one thing. Listen, man, I would not tell you guys this if it wasn't true. Okay. I don't tell anybody that anything that isn't true. I've been doing enemas till this day. Okay. It's a reason why my skin looks so good because I'm detoxing my body every other day. I do an enema every other day. You have to, when you're eating this food out here. This food out here is severely toxic, my people. Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth, man. Okay? And I'm going to get to my, my recent events that's going to prove to you what I'm saying. Okay? So, like I said, I started, doing enemas every single day when I was going through my detox. And I started pushing out all sorts of stuff. Let me tell you guys, man, I'm talking about parasite eggs. I'm talking about like thousands of parasite eggs. You guys think this is a joke. All of you have this in you. All of you. Okay. I don't care what kind of detox you think you done did. You have thousands and thousands of these things inside of you if you eat any of the foods that I just told you that you eat. Okay. I'll bet my life on it. Okay. That's how confident I am. Okay. Because like I said, I've been having a clean diet and I'm still having some show up. But let me tell you how I first started it though. Okay. Like I said, I was doing my enemas. I was cleaning out my body. Okay. All the time. Every single day I was cleaning out my body. And these eggs, it's not like you're going to see gigantic worms coming out of you guys. You guys use your head. Parasites are relatively small, but their eggs is what tells you that you're infested with them, because if their eggs are coming out, that's letting you know that you're getting a deep detox, because the eggs are attached to the mucous membranes inside of your body. They hang on. Okay. They're not like the parasites. You can remove the parasites with sometimes, some tinctures and stuff like that. Sure, you could kill those, but you're not going to kill all of the eggs. This is why they never leave. You guys are not listening to me. Okay. I'm telling you, 8 years of doing this, and I reversed something that they said that was inhealable. So let me finish my story. Okay. I started cleaning out my colon every single day, bro. And when I started looking in the toilet, like I said, bro, I'm like, holy crap, dude, there's nothing but these little eggs that keep coming out. Every single time I kept doing it, they kept coming out, kept coming out, kept coming out. That went on for, no kidding, for almost a month and a half. Okay. Now, doing that a month and a half straight, guess what happened? All of that disappeared. Now, here's the true, honest story. All of that disappeared. And then all of a sudden, I didn't need to start doing enemas anymore. It was like all my natural bowel movements came back, like the size, the shape, everything that was normal, in a normal way to pass stool started working again. Okay. What does that tell you? That tells you that those parasites, all that stuff that was inside of my body that was affecting, the way that my stomach was digesting and me being, blocked up because of the parasites, was now free. Okay. And that was from months. Now, let me tell you some other crazy stories. There was people who I learned this from who got videos all over YouTube. You just got to go on YouTube and do your own research. The people that I learned this from got videos all over YouTube, and they have some of the craziest size parasites that came out of them, bro, when they did the exact same thing. Okay. And they all will co-sign and tell you that there is no way that you're going to get these out of your body by taking some type of just topical, okay, something oral. It's not going to remove these. These things are hanging in mucus. Do you know what mucus is? You know when you hawk a loogie? You know when you go, and you hawk a loogie, you get all that snot, you get all that mucus in your throat, and you hawk a loogie. Do you see that type of material that is? Most of us have played in it with sticks when we were little, or stepped on it in our shoe, and we see how it's all slimy, and it's called basically a biofilm. Okay, that protects all the parasites. That protects all of the parasite eggs from anything that you put inside of your body. Okay, so if you went out and spent on a damn $300 detox kit, sure, you're gonna get some of the parasites maybe that were already on their way out. Okay, but you're not gonna kill any of the eggs, and this is why they never leave. They never leave. You don't understand this. If you're eating anything, listen to me, people. I promise you, I'll bet the house on it. Okay, come and challenge me right now. I'll bet the house on it that you're full of these parasites. I'll bet the house on it, bro. Okay, and it makes a huge difference when they're out of your body, because once they're out of your body, they're no longer controlling your thoughts. They're no longer controlling your feelings. Hence why I'm trying to tell you, this is why at the end of the day, all of the people are walking around like literally like zombies. Okay, because they don't understand that they're a slave to the food. Okay, but that all started because they're a slave to their lust. They're a slave to their addictions. They're a slave to releasing their sexual life force energy. And like I said, because of that, you put your guard down for diet. And now you got two problems on your hands. Listen, this is the truth. This is how it happens. Okay. When you start retaining your seed, bro, and you start understanding what you're supposed to be putting in your body, because like I said, once you start retaining your seed, what are you doing? That's called self-love. That's called self-care. And what do you do when you practice self-love and self-care? You take care of yourself. Okay. I don't know if many of you have done that. Maybe you guys have had some spurts in your life where you'd be like, I'm going to go get me some good supplements, and I'm going to take care of myself. I'm not going to eat nothing fried for a week. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. This is the same thing that I'm telling you, but semen retention and celibacy is on a whole nother level of self-love. And when you doing the self-love, what you do is you start cleaning up your life. You start saying, I'm not going to put something poisonous inside of my body. Okay. So what does that mean? If you're really going to be honest with yourself, you're going to see that everything that you eat is poisonous. Okay. If you're going to be honest with yourself. If you're not, you're probably sleeping in the matrix. And this is why I'm explaining, don't be like you guys, because you guys are just like everybody else. Okay. You don't take the time to understand what you're putting in your body, and you don't understand that what you're putting in your body is directly working against you, because it's feeding these parasites. And these parasites are a repercussion or a consequence of you being promiscuous and don't care about releasing your sexual life force energy. Therefore, you're not really going to care what you put inside your temple. This is how it works. Okay. This is why they call it enlightenment, because you got a light bulb going off in your head, and you see a correlation, understanding that if you put this lower frequency stuff inside your body, it's going to cause even more lower frequency. If I'm releasing my sexual life force energy, that's already going to put me in a lower frequency. So you have these two things that are working against you. And this is why most of you people never find your way out, or you never even begin the journey. Okay. Because this is what happened to me. All right. This is my life story. I'm putting it together. I have a whole book for you guys on understanding your life and understanding the choices that you make. This is the whole reason, man. You don't want to be like everybody else, because like I said, you're going to get full of these, and you're not going to be able to understand on how to get rid of them. Why? Because most of us are too busy. Most of us don't care. Most of us are going to wait till we're sick, okay, before we try to make a change in our life. And this is what I want you guys to understand. You don't want to be one of these people, okay? So like I said, I was cleaning myself out, and I got all of these out of me. And guess what happened? Guess what happened, guys? This is the most amazing part of the story, okay? Guess what happened, okay? I literally healed, bro, from something that they said that you couldn't, okay? That should tell you everything that you need to know about what I did, what I've been doing, okay, and how I've still been doing this to this date. And I let my weight vary depending on what I've been consuming, because I understand that every single meal that I put inside my body, I am feeding colonies of parasites that have adapted to many different things that I have done in my life, and they're trying to cling for survival. And if I doing, like I tell you right now, consistently every other day, I'm cleaning my colon, and every other day, every now and then I'll find, a few parasite eggs here and there. What does that tell you about you guys? What does that tell you that you have inside of you? And I don't even consume the diet that causes most of these parasites. I'm not even eating the meats. I'm not even really I mean, I eat some dairy every now and again, but I don't drink milk. I don't do any of that stuff anymore because I'm trying to clean my body out. I'm trying to keep my body a certain level of cleanliness. Okay. And I can't do that when I have these parasites that are inside of your body. Okay. And the way that you guys need to understand it, you're going to have to do this, is listen to me. I'm telling you, I'm giving you guys a super cheat code that you think's a joke, that you don't even have to tell anybody, that you can go do your own self, and you're going to see a tremendous amount of benefits. Okay. You got to be careful with it. If you don't never done it before, some people overdo it and they do it too much and they get a bad taste in their mouth. But let me tell you something. If you just do it like you're supposed to do it, you're going to feel amazing. Okay. You're never going to be sick. You're never going to be walking around with a bloated belly. Okay. Listen to me. I can guarantee you this right now. I'll make this guarantee to you guys right now. I guarantee that 90% of the people in here that are watching this content right now got a bloated gut. How much you want to bet? Look down at your gut right now. I guarantee you have a bloated gut. Why do you think that is? It isn't because everything that you eat, okay, is causing that. No, you've already have the damage done to your gut from the foods that you've been eating. And now what is happening, that is a consequence of having a damaged gut lining because of the stuff that we eat, okay? And this is where it all starts, because guess what? When you get a bloated gut, guess what that means? That means all those parasites now are sitting around that food, okay, fermenting that food, causing that food to digest a little bit slower and take longer to get through your intestines. And they're going to eat it, and they're going to strip every single mineral and nutrient out of that food before your body can even use it, okay? And then you're going to be constipated trying to get that out of your body. Okay. And most of you don't understand that you need to be going at least how many meals that you eat per day. And I know a lot of you guys will sit up here and lie about that. Again, this is why we preach retaining your sexual life force energy. This is why we preach celibacy, because you're going to be real with yourself. This is why I don't want to be like everybody else. Listen how their life is turning out, and they want to be in denial. You can't be in denial on something that I'm ascended from, okay? This is why I'm at the position that I'm at. I'm already ascended from all of this. I'm trying to help y'all be able to get out of darkness and be able to see really what the hell is going on in life, okay? I'm telling you on what happens, okay, if you continue to go down this road, all right? Let me tell you guys something, man. I have fought some serious battles with health, and I came out on top. And the way that I did that is, like I said, I was very on top of cleaning out my system regularly, especially if I'm somebody that's consuming the typical pyramid food diet. I'm out here consuming anything fast food. You need to understand, okay? You need to understand, all right? We talked about the meat. We talked about how long the meat is sitting there in plastic, injected with all sorts of colors to preserve the meat. And technically the meat is, starting to decay the minute it is removed from the animal. And some of these foods sit in this plastic in these room temperature rooms, okay, for weeks before they go onto the shelf. And now you are consuming these foods, all right, and the process of decay has already taken place. You have these parasites, you have these eggs all inside of this meat. You take it home and you think that you put it in a microwave, or you think you cook it, that it's going to kill all of it, and it doesn't, because a lot of you out there eat most of your foods rare, okay? When I tell you guys that you are full of these parasites, and they do not go away because you have not done the first step in removing their source of life, which is the biofilm that is, covered all inside of your colon. Okay. This is why I'm such an advocate of, detoxing the colon regularly, because you're going to see the proof on, I'm telling you, if you do what I tell you, you're going to see the proof, and it's going to show you that I'm telling you the truth. Okay. Parasites are like millions of mini maggots. Imagine you have a million of mini maggots inside of your intestine, and all their job is to do is suck your blood. That's what the parasites do. They suck your blood. They take all your nutrients and minerals. This is why you have to eat so much. This is why you're tired all the time. This is why you always got to take supplements, because you don't understand that you're feeding a whole nother ancient life form inside of your body that's then adapted to your body. They control your senses. They make you urge for sugar. Let me tell you something. I can't remember the last time I've had a pop. I can't remember the last time I had any kind of like fake candy, sugar. Listen, when you're cleaned out, you don't crave those things. And that shows you who's really in charge of your body. And for the simple fact that most of you out there are eating the synthetic sugars, you're eating, like I said, the American Standard SAD diet, okay, out there, the SAD, the Standard American Diet, the SAD diet. That's what most of you guys are out there consuming. And because of that, your colon is full of parasites. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, because most of you guys out there are consuming that SAD diet. Okay. And all I'm trying to do is bring awareness to you on another way that you can incorporate into your life that's going to help you have a better life. Okay. I'm telling you, most of us Americans have a grip on our life. We have headaches every day. We're fatigued. Okay. Our adrenals are always up and down. Okay. Our hormones are always up and down. And I'm telling you on what it is. Okay. All of us are infected with this little thing called a parasite because of what we eat. Okay. All I'm trying to do is provide you awareness. I'm not trying to tell you to stop eating whatever. If you eat whatever you want to eat, but you need to understand on why you're eating those foods. You need to understand why your health is the way it is. Okay, because you don't understand what you're feeding. Okay, and until you clean up your body, you will not understand what your body really wants. Okay, you're not going to be craving half of these foods. I promise you, you're not. Okay, but it's like people are so scared to get rid of something that is inside of you. Why would you be scared? Where does this, what kind of sense does that make? You're the toughest person in real life. You're the toughest person on the internet in the comment section, but you're scared to face these worms that are inside your body, that are killing you, that are taking your energy every single day. Okay. That are procreating at a rapid rate. If you understood that there's thousands of those seeds right now in your colon, what would you do? Would you take life seriously, or would you continue to believe this is a game? Okay. It's not a game. And that's a direct correlation to brain fog. That's a direct correlation to even sometimes a person being malnutrition, depending on, if they don't eat enough or a lot. Okay. This is where you got to be careful as a vegan. This is where you got to be careful as a vegetarian or a plant-based person, because guess what? Just because you switch to that diet doesn't mean you haven't gotten rid of the root of that problem. And that root and the core of that problem has always been the infestation from the diet that you originally put inside your body and created that perfect playground for these species to live, which is these parasites. Okay. And like I said, because they're all in each and every one of our bodies, they are a slow ticking time, boom, okay, to the end of our lives. Okay, they're going to cause us a lot of diseases. They're going to cause a lot of fatigue. They're going to cause a lot of moody times. They're going to cause us a lot of illnesses, because those parasites poop inside of you. That poop gets inside of your blood. Okay, your blood is dispensed all around your body. You're talking about connection and pathways to your brain, to your heart, to your liver, to your kidneys. Okay, and once all of this type of stuff gets infected, now you have an infected immune system that can't officially warn different parts of the body on when and when to excrete different things out of the body. This is where you start to get constipated, and once you get constipated, game over. Okay, if you guys want to be real, you want to know a test right now if you're sick or not, and how bad these and what level of infestation you are at parasites. You want me to give you a hint right now? If you're constipated, what do you mean by constipated? If you're not someone who is eating right now, and let's say you had 3 meals, be for real. Okay, you got to be real with yourself. You had 3 meals. Okay, you woke up this morning, you had you a sausage link that fed 10 million parasites. Okay, at lunchtime let's say you had you a cheese pizza with some pepperoni in it, and that probably fed another 5 million parasites, right? And then you had a burger at dinner time. Okay, you got extra happy at dinner time. You got the burger with the egg on it, right? Now, if during that day that you worked, you worked a 9-to-5 job and you consumed 3 meals, during that day, if you did not take 3 crap sizes, the exact same size as those 3 meals that you ate, you are officially constipated. And from that point, that lets you know how bad your parasite infestation is. Okay, they are literally in there having a field house on reproducing. They're out there, bro. You think we're partying? You think we party hard on Saturday night when we get the liquor in us? You know what the liquor is like to those parasites? Sugar. All that sugar, everything that we eat breaks down to what, my friends? Glucose, sugar. And some of the stuff that we eat provides more of a potent sugar to these parasites. And like I said, over the years, they've done an adapted. They done got stronger. They're like, I told you, they're like Power Ranger parasites now. And we're like big Zords. They're literally inside of us, controlling us, having the time of their life. And you think this is a joke. It's not a joke. This is really real. Okay, this is the best way I can put it to you so you can understand you're really infested with these, and you really should be focusing on getting them out of your body and cleaning up your diet so it doesn't continue to go on. Because let me tell you what's going to happen to you. This is the true story. This is the ending. This is the epilogue of the story. Okay, bro, when you wait all that time and you get worse and worse and worse, and now you're to the point where you holding in your poop for like 2 days. Okay, you're holding in your poop for like 3 days. I know people like this, so you're not going to sit up here and try to act like I'm not telling you the truth. Okay, when you start getting in that habit, that's when it's gotten to its most extreme point. Okay, when you get to that point, that's when it's got to its most extreme point. And now what is going to happen is that's going to start causing you a major disease inside of the body. Okay, I mean, you're in the midst right now of creating whatever disease is going to come from being backed up with toxins inside of your body for that long. Okay, this is the remedy. This is why I'm trying to tell you guys. Why do you want to be like everybody else? Why? This is why I do retention. This is why this is a 1% journey, because you really take accountability for your life, because you literally have to, everything that I'm telling you, I had to have learned that. Everything that I'm telling you, I had to have either gone through that, experienced that, or learned that. Okay. And that means I can go out here and look at everybody out here in the modern day, and I can tell you this is exactly what you are experiencing. Okay, I know it is. I work with so many people. I've been around so many people. I can tell people's attitudes. They're inconsistent. Okay, they got gas. They're taking all of these over-the-counter toxic things like Pepto-Bismol and Gas X, all these stupid things that are just band-aids to the problem. Not only are they just Band-Aids, but they're also very highly toxic, full of toxic metals that you're putting inside of your body, further adding to the responsibility of your immune system to get rid of all this stuff. And you're not even helping your immune system. All you're doing is backing yourself up with more and more toxins. And it shows up on people's faces. And I'm telling you what I see every single day, bro. Okay. I don't want to be like everybody else, man. I don't want to walk around a zombie. I don't want to walk around depleted of sexual life force energy and not make the right decisions in my life. I don't want to just have the I don't care attitude. I don't want to just have the oh F it nut. Okay. That's not me anymore. Okay. Because all that does is create a life for you full of karma. Okay. You end up living in a cycle, man, that you're not proud of. You end up creating offspring that you shouldn't, that shouldn't be here. You end up becoming a coomer and doing something dumb in your life that you shouldn't have. Okay. All because we start at the very beginning of this whole thing with the depletion of our life force energy. And now there's a domino effect taking part in our lives. And we're no longer responsible because we have the I don't care mentality now. Okay. The sooner you figure this out, the sooner that your life is going to be better. Okay. The sooner you figure this out, the sooner your life is going to be better. Okay. This is why I have so much discipline, man. Okay. I could tell you, man, I could teach you whatever you want to know. I am a master at what I do. Okay. I have done this for years. I have seen so much progress in my life, not only in my life, but in other people's life. I've helped so many people fix health issues in their life. And I'm telling you, this is the main reason why we need to have discipline in our lives. And the best way to practice discipline is, and first and foremost, is the most beautiful way to do it is protect our sexual life force energy. That's our most powerful energy. So that means that's going to give us the most, powerful awareness. It only translates to that, man. It only translates to that. You're using your most powerful energy now. You're keeping it in. You're protecting yourself. You start loving yourself. And then you really start looking at what you're doing in your life. And because you have that type of energy backing whatever it is that you're doing, it's just going to grow and it's just going to manifest. Okay. And you're going to be one of these people, man, who really start taking life seriously. All right. You're not going to be one of these people, man, who, like I said, are just out here being like everybody else, man. You're out here just eating the bad foods. You're drinking alcohol. You're out here committing all of these different atrocities against yourself. And you don't understand that that's going to catch you. And listen, nobody said we can't have fun, but we're past fun now. Okay. People are out here just blindly living a life, man, of comfort, and they don't understand that there's a boogeyman that is a brewing inside of you that is going to cause you some huge health issues. Okay, I see this amongst too many people, man. All right, I see it in there, man. You should never have to go to a doctor and have surgery. You should never have to go to a doctor and have something amputated. You never should have to go to a doctor because you can't go to the bathroom. Okay. I'm telling you the number one thing that is going to save your life. Listen to me. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you. I'm telling you the truth. You can take this to your grave. Okay. The number one thing that is going to save your life. I don't care how sick you are. Listen to me. The number one thing that will save your life is at least keeping your colon clean. Okay. Because that is where all the toxic waste is going to putrefy and be put directly into your bloodstream. As long as you can keep the colon clean, you're going to buy yourself a tremendous amount of time. Okay. It's when these meals are getting backed up inside of you. Okay. And then they're causing these parasites to excrete what we like to call viruses inside of your blood. This is what you guys are going to have to be aware of. Okay. And this is why I advocate cleaning out your colon so much. Okay. I advocate that to the fullest, man, because I've learned the lessons of all lessons down here. And I'm telling you that most of us out here are caught up in exactly what I've been telling you. Okay. Steven in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here, brother. Good to see you, my man. Jay Speaks in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here, my brother. I be trying to be funny sometimes, man. Yeah, most of the time I try to keep it serious, bro. But most of the time I be trying to be funny. He said, almond milk is good. Here, okay. Now listen, uh, a lot of you guys are gonna be like, listen, this is hard to explain, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay, this is where they get us. Listen to me carefully. This is where they get us. Okay, so now we're in the first stage, just like Heavenly Bird said. We're in this stage right here, right? Okay, we're like, all right, we're gonna do almond milk. We know that the milk that we drink is bad for us, right? We know that. Why? Because it's homogenized, okay, and it's been, depleted of all of its, good bacteria, the stuff that's going to feed our body. It's just basically now just been, turned into straight sugar. Okay, we starting to see that. Why? Because a lot of people that drink milk are what? Overweight. Most of the people that drink what are what? Gassy and bloaty. Most of the people that drink what? Do what? They're constipated. Most of the people that drink milk do what? Okay, like I said, they're out of shape. Most of them. Okay, they have a Dunlap disease gut. Okay, this is just the facts. Why? Because the milk is something that we're not supposed to be consuming in that form. Okay, that milk has been, like I said, it's been heat treated, and when it's heat treated, it kills the good gut bacteria. And now what you're doing is you're putting straight pure sugar into your body. Okay, fat and sugar. Okay, fat and sugar is what you're putting directly into your body, and what ends up happening is that starts to feed the bad bacteria. Okay. See, when you do it and you drink it raw, this is why I used to advocate drinking raw milk. When you drink it raw, you're getting it full of the natural bacteria that's supposed to be in it. Again, they made us think bacteria is gross, but that's what we're made of. Okay. So any of you people right now who are grossed out by me saying bacteria, there's something wrong with you. Okay. We're pure bacteria. Okay. But the balance that we're supposed to have, we're supposed to have the good bacteria. But because of the way that they try to so-called preserve, okay, heat treated milk is absolutely wrong, because what raw milk doesn't rot. Okay. Raw milk, it ferments and it turns into, basically it'll turn into cheese all by itself if you leave it long enough, unopened. Because what ends up happening is the bacteria end up eating all of the stuff that would have gone into your gut. Okay, and they create this fermented cheese. And this is where we got fermented cheese from. Where do you guys think we got all these different types of cheeses that we so love and we crave? Because they're full of probiotic material. Okay, that's what we're supposed to be drinking if you're going to be drinking and consuming milk. But the problem is with the almond milk, and again, I'm just giving you my experiences, the almond milk has a lot of chemicals in it, and it'll bloat you really bad. On top of that, there is a certain amount of cyanide that is also known to be in these almond, seeds or whatever they get the almond milk from. Okay. And most of these companies, they're not buying it for quality. Okay. They're just buying it for mass production, and they're putting it in that gross, styrofoam plasticky, type of container. And like I said, this stuff sits in the shelves for weeks before it ever gets sold. So you got fermentation that's taking part in there. Let me tell you a gross story. So I used to get the almond milk and the coconut milk all the time. And this one time, I just decided that I must have decided I forgot about it or something. And it was sitting in the back of my refrigerator. Now, I want you to understand, they say these things have a shelf life for up to 3+ weeks sometimes, right? This one that I had particularly bought, it had only been sitting inside of my refrigerator for a week. I went to go and open it up to go and pour myself some milk. And I opened it up and it was full of toxic green mold. I'm talking about like huge mold. Like, you need to think about that now, putting that into your body. Okay, again, this is the risk that you're going to make. Now, if you're going to make almond milk naturally, which you can do that, then I'm going to say almond milk all day long. But if it's store-bought, man, you're still going to have the same problems as people are having with the regular milk. So that's just something that I would tell you to be on concern if you're out there consuming store-bought almond milk, that you're still going to have the same problems. It's still going to destroy your gut. You're still going to get the bloating, okay? I would encourage you guys to not, I know this is going to sound bad, bro. I would encourage you guys not to really buy anything that has ingredients in it. Okay. So if you can't go to the store and you can't look on the back of the package and it doesn't have more than 3 things in it, I would not be eating it or I would not be drinking it. And unfortunately, when you go into the store these days, that's every product out there has got an average of at least 10 different chemicals in it. And some of these chemicals do some terrible damage to your body. Okay, we're talking about synthetic sugars. We're talking about heavy metals. We're talking about all sorts of stuff. We're talking about food coloring. Bro, when I tell you the food is poisonous, and this is why you guys get in trouble, because you take this as a joke. And then, like I said, when you eat that consistently, what you're doing is you're feeding these colonies of bad parasites, these colonies of bad bacteria who are building a resistance, okay? And now you're becoming insulin resistance because you're putting all this sugar inside of your body. You done destroyed your pancreas, and now your colon's all clogged up, and now you're in a whole slew of problems. You have no idea to even where to begin, okay? And then you're going to start listening to these doctors. These doctors are going to start giving you pharmaceuticals that absolutely help nothing, that are just going to cause more problems than anything. And you don't understand that the underlying problem is because of the diet that you done started to consume. You done created this super powerful force field for these parasites called biofilm and mucus. This is why every single one of us hawk loogies. This is why every single one of us have the scratching in our throats. This is why every single one of us have the stuffy and snotty noses. This is why every single one of us gets sick, because once these things get inside your body and they have this biofilm, it is almost impossible to remove them out of your body entirely. Okay, until you understand that you need to start with some serious detoxing, and you got to start with the source of stop feeding them. Okay, you're feeding them the food, and you don't understand your immune system is not getting any of that. Okay, these parasites are consuming all of your meals. This is why you guys eat so much. This is why you're never satisfied. Okay, I'm telling you what's wrong. All right, so I would just encourage you guys, like I said, take care of your diet. Make that the number one thing in 2026 that you keep an eye on. Okay, and if you want some help, if you want, you want to sit down or you want to come in the comment section, listen, I'll help you out as much as I can. Okay, but I promise you this. If you just go and do what I've said, if you just go and put in the effort, I promise you, you're going to see a tremendous, tremendous turnaround in your health. Okay, I promise you. I don't care what you look like. I promise you, if you do what I say, you will come try to find me, and you will be the happiest person in the world, because you're going to feel like a new person. No, none of us understand on how serious this is. You have millions of parasites inside of you that are sucking your blood. Imagine if they just stop sucking your blood. Imagine if you were completely clean of these things. Imagine how much greater you would feel, how much more energy you would feel, how much better looking that you would feel. Okay, how much better your hormones would work. You don't understand that they're the main cause to just about every single issue in the human body. But it's because we are putting this food, this diet into our bodies, that we'll never be able to recover from this. And this is why all of us are out here will stay the rest of our lives searching for an antidote. Okay. And we don't want to change the number one root cause, which is our diet. We have to start there. That's where all the answers start. Honestly, retaining your sexual life force energy is where it all starts. But next in line is your diet, okay? Because like I said, if you're retaining your sexual life force energy, you're going to be conscious enough to understand on what I'm telling you, okay? It's not even going to be something up for debate, all right? You're going to know what the heck is going on. But because of your don't care, because of you're so drained, okay, because your nervous system is so depleted and so, just drained, you're just not going to care. You're going to make these decisions. This is how people get pregnant. Both men and women, they just don't care. Now, imagine if you were someone who hasn't been intimate in a while and you just decide to be intimate. You're just not going to be letting somebody just jump up in you and try to get you pregnant on the first shot. You're not going to be all into that. But when you constantly are wearing down your energy, you're just not going to care. And this is what I'm proving it to you. Okay. So I would just advise you guys to, be fully aware on what they're doing in the food and try cleaning yourself out and see how much better that you feel. Dylan in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here, my man. Truth and Broadcasting, bro. Appreciate you for stopping in, playa. What are those? I never heard of those. What are your thoughts on partridge oats? I've never tried those before. Doesn't sound like something that we have over here that's in our stores. Okay. The first thing that I check when I go to my stores is I'm in the fruit section. Then I go to the vegetable section. Okay. I don't eat animal meat. I used to, but like I said, man, what I've learned, what's inside of you right now, what's inside of all of you right now, and you're in denial is just hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me. And the minute you do it, you're going to see that I've been telling you the truth. And some of you are infested to an uncanny level. I'm telling you, some of you just been stuffing your face with all sorts of seafood and undercooked meat, and you're full of these things. Okay, I promise you that. Soy milk, I would stay away from soy milk too, bro. Listen, this is going to sound crazy. I know it is, man, but I'm telling you from the words of one of the wisest on YouTube, bro. All right. Been under plenty of master teachers, man, and I've done learned the hard way. I done tried different things. I done experimented. Bro, the best thing you can do if you're going to make any kind of milk is to make some natural milk on your own. Okay. It's almond milk, you can do that. I know that there's all sorts of oats that you can do on your own. There's plenty of different ways that you can make your own milk. Store-bought milk is out of the question. Okay, I told you what they do to it. All right, it is the worst thing that you can drink. It's gonna make you fat, it's gonna make you bloat, it's gonna make you gain weight. Okay, it's going to cause your colon to back up, it's going to feed the parasites. The only milk that I would drink is raw milk. And even then I'd be concerned about raw milk because I told you guys some years back that they started messing with the raw milk. Okay. I used to be the biggest advocate of raw milk. That was the number one thing that I had pushed on my channel was raw milk. And I told you they start messing with the raw milk. They start getting these farmers now under a certain code, and now they got to put something in their raw milk. And now every time I drink the raw milk, I get this taste in my mouth that never used to be present in raw milk. So I just stopped messing with the raw milk. The raw milk started getting bad. Like, dude, raw milk that I used to buy from these farmers, man, it would never go bad, bro. Never. Okay. I'm telling you. It would, and if it did go bad, it doesn't go bad to the point where it just turns into some nasty bacterial smelly stuff. Like I said, all it does is turn into cheese, literally. Okay. So when you go get some milk at the store and you leave it, what happens? You open it up and it's full of what? Mold. Do you understand that mold is one of the biggest killers in the world? Do you understand how poisonous and toxic mold is? And if you're seeing that show up on the foods and the things that you are drinking, you can pretty much guarantee that that's what's taking place inside of your body, especially at your body temperature. This is why all of us are so sick, because we're eating everything that is not very high quality. We've been tricked to believe that we need to go to grocery stores. This is why 99% of the people who are on food stamps, okay, are unhealthy because they don't have any choices. What you need to be doing, honestly, man, is be in the fruit and veggie section, okay, getting all the organic you can. The best thing that you could do before that is to try to grow your own clean, fruits and veggies so you don't have to go to the store all the time. The next thing that you do is go down to the best farmers market that you can find and become best friends with them. Okay, I'm telling you what to do. You go down there and you become best friends with them, and you're gonna see that there's hundreds of other people out there that are best friends with them too, because they all don't woke up. Because it's the only place that you're gonna get clean stuff. No pesticides, no herbicides, no fungicides, no insecticides sprayed on top of your produce. It goes inside of the skin. Its skin absorbs all of that stuff. You put the stuff inside of your body, and now your body is in panic mode because your immune system is on high alert. And now you got all this inflammation in your body. And now this is where all the problems start. Then you got to think on top of eating the bad foods, eating the milk, drinking the milk, eating the meat. You're getting the parasites. Now your body immune system doesn't work. This is why people don't live very long. This is why so many people are sick. This is why like I said, I'm not like everybody else. I'm different, bro. This is, I told you, my light annoys people who don't want to figure life out. My light annoys people who are low vibrational. Okay. It becomes annoying to them because they're low vibrational. If they were high vibrational, they'd be sitting here drooling over the things that I'm telling you, because they know I'm telling you the absolute truth on how to figure out your life. Okay. But like I said, we're all on our own separate missions, and all I can do is provide this information in hopes that, people take it and they do the right thing with it. So that's all I really wanted to tell you guys, man. I hope you guys are being serious out here with your life. You're taking care of your health. Understand everything that I'm telling you is the truth. Okay. I'm going to put some stuff in the community post section. I'm telling you, for the life of me, start cleaning out your colon. Listen to me, my folks. I'm telling you, for the life of me, start cleaning out your colon. You can't do it by taking stuff through your mouth. You have to unplug the root cause of the problem. Once you get all of those biofilm out, all that mucus out of your colon, you're going to start being able to eat things, and the things are going to start being able to get used properly, and then you're going to be able to start excreting things the way that it's supposed to be, and not having all of your minerals and nutrients siphon from, because you're full of these parasites. When I tell you, if you eat this diet, you're full of them. Trust me. Do your own independent research. Start cleaning out your colon. Start taking different things, different herbs and different, nutritional things to help yourself get rid of these things. And I promise you, if you do that, man, then heck, we might end up seeing you in the retention community. We might end up seeing you on celibacy one day soon, because you're going to get your mind back. I promise you. And you're going to feel better than you ever have before. And I put that on my life. So you guys have a good rest of the day. You guys stay safe out there. I love you guys. And I'm going to talk to all you guys on the next one. Peace, fellas.
I like 'em feisty.
You disgust me.
You are now listening to Beantown Beats.
You are now listening to TSLK.
You are now listening to Beantown Beats.
Hi, I'm Kim Kardashian. You are now listening to TSLK Radio, the hottest retainer in the game.
God, I'm so confused. It's too soon to be having feelings for you.
Maybe. Feelings are feelings because we can't control them.
But I have to control them, because I can't go through losing somebody again. It's too painful.
So what? You're just gonna shut down? I really like you. There's no chance we can ever be together?
Only if you could promise me you'll never die.
You know I can't promise that.
If you did that, I would make love to you right now.
I promise I will never die.
The shaved Lion King is one hell of a retainer, for real, for real.